Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I hope you guys are doing good. This is me, Abu Bakr Dilawar. I welcome you all on the behalf of Founders Kahani. Today we have a very amazing guest with us. Today we have a very amazing Kahani with us. Please welcome Batuhan all the way from Turkey. He is the CEO of Mobidictum. Please welcome him. How are you, sir?
All good. Thanks for having me on this podcast.
So first of all, can you please tell me what's the Kahani of Batuhan?
Kahani of my story. Okay. So I studied computer science in Turkey, in Istanbul,
Okay.
between 2009 and 2013. I wanted to make a game, so I said, okay, I should study something with computer, like programming related. Then I realized computer science is not much development, but mostly for mathematics and understanding the basics of programming languages and so on. So I couldn't do much in during the university, but then I started developing apps. Then I started doing some mobile games as well, but they were like really small games, sometimes clones. I had one idea that which was my game idea, that was football trivia. And then
Okay.
I decided to, send press releases about my game. Then I realized, okay, who will cover my game news, because I have like a not a really good game. Then I said, okay, I will create a website so I can also start covering like my own games and the people who is developing games similar as mine. So like indie game developers. This is how
Okay.
Mobidictum started in 2015. It was like a hobby project for a long time, for like 5 years. Then 2021 we had our first online event. We had a couple of online events. Then we had on-site events with 200 people, then 250 people. Then we organized the biggest game conference in the region with 2,000 people last year, 5 and 6 of September. This year we are going to repeat the same conference. So if any of your audience is interested in game industry, they are welcome to join our conference in Istanbul.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's really nice. By the way, I want to tell you something. You know what? Pakistani people are a little bit obsessed with Istanbul.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
lovely city
it's a
with
very
a lot of
beautiful
food.
city. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So basically, your company slogan is local approach, global reach. How do you balance this approach? Like, how do you focus between the local clients and the international clients?
Okay. We like to call everyone a partner. Like a paid partner or a non-paid partner instead of client, because we don't give a service. We just have things that like people can, let's say, purchase to do it, like sponsorship, media packages, and so on. Like the approach we have is, like local approach means like even the smallest developer, like a game company, needs something. So we try to address these uh, questions or need with the content we create, right? Because if you're like a small studio owner with, like, let's say 3 people, and you don't have much place to go to, like, tell about yourself and so on, Mobidictum is a good platform to start somewhere, because we have the ability to bring
Okay.
really big companies, also really small companies. So it's a good common ground for people to enter the market and then see what's going on. Even in our conference, we have a visitor ticket, for example. So people who are interested in the game industry, they can come and check what's going on in the industry. So
Okay.
that's why it's important for us to, like, have the local presence with the companies, and then make sure that their voice is heard in the global scene.
Okay, okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. By the way, can you define how the gaming industry works in Turkey and what's Moby Victim contributing to that industry?
We had a really good growth for the last 2 3 years with like hyper casual and like mobile. Right now in the global scene, it's kind of slowed down. Things are changing. Revenues dropped a little bit, but after like Corona, now the market is balancing itself. But now we have a lot of like PC companies, indie companies are coming up. They're making really good, solid games. So like the industry in Turkey is growing. There's the government support as well, with a lot of incentives. There's a lot of incubators, accelerators, funds, and a lot of community. So everyone is trying to make something with games. And we have the population, like we have the talent. We have a lot of universities. So I think it will keep growing from this moment.
Yeah, I think that's a very nice. By the way, Pakistan also has a very diverse industry in terms of gaming. There are a lot of freelancers who do work with the Silicon Valley companies remotely here from Pakistan in the gaming industry. By the
Mhm.
way, and I also you also mentioned that you are arranging a event that's a yearly event of Moby Victim, and I was even when I was searching about Moby Victim, you were really into the conferences and the networking events. So, as a founder, how do you see that how networking events and going to such conferences is important for a startup founder? And have you found any good partnerships from these conferences?
Okay. Well, I think there's a, there's like two sides of this topic. Some of the successful founders that I see, they're also like, you don't like networking events are like waste of time. I don't agree because first of all, I think it depends on what you do. I mean, if you do like I don't know, like some digital product where you can just get users with I don't know, with the digital marketing, for example, and then yeah, maybe better to focus on that. But you never know what you will need in life, and you will never know who will provide this, because life is a journey, and in different phases of your time, you might need different things, you know. So I always believe that knowing a lot like people, like good people that you can do business, that you can count on, that you can trust, is always good. Of course, from a networking event, it's like, like you don't you meet with people, but spending
Yeah.
time on the relationship and build something, that's something else. So sometimes people are overwhelmed with the conferences, for example, when they go to too much networking event, because then it's not like you send one email then you finish. You have to keep up the build relationship. Last year I traveled at least 6 7 conference, and this year I didn't, to like focus on building this relationship instead of getting the new ones. So especially like if you're in mobile game industry, I mean, there's like so many players, so many different companies that it might help with your product and so on. And like you don't search these things all the time. You see in the conferences, you see in the events, you ask one question to someone, then you get an answer which might help with your journey. So I'm a supporter of networking. That's why we organize these
Yeah.
networking events. Even our single day event series called Mobidictum Network. Uh, so yeah, I hope other founders will think the same, and we can see each other on the different events.
Yeah, I think I'm also a big advocate of networking and attending these type of conferences. I am personally a marketer. So the reason why I started this podcast named Founders Kahani is that if you see the European side or the American startups, they are very good in networking. They are really connected with each other. But I don't know if we see at the Asian side, especially the South Asian countries, they are not much connected. They are not into networking. That's why I started Founders Kahani so that we can connect the founders from different countries, from different industries, so that we can do something better for this world.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
I, I I agree. I mean, on the other side of the world, things are working much different, right?
yeah,
Uh, I mean, I know companies who were founded because just they just met in a networking event, you know.
yes,
So you never know, right? You never
yeah,
know, and if you have the time to spend or if you have the budget to spend on it, yes, I. It's not like I recommend to go to like all the events or networking events or something. Sometimes you have to choose, but it's
yeah.
still, if you're a business owner, I think it should be in part of your planning.
Yeah. Okay, now Batuhan, please tell me that I have seen Mobibictum has a great platform that provide jobs to the local community members. Huh? So what's the match do you find in the individual, in the job seeker, or in the gaming company?
Um, you mean our job platform, or
Yeah, yeah, I was talking about your job platform.
okay? I mean, right now the market is slow, right? So not many people are hiring. Instead, there are layoffs. Not the best time, but I mean, any like all the companies can use our platform to like find talent. Most of the talent pool we have is from Turkey at the moment. So if you have a job ad, it will go to like I think like 3,000 people, something like that. You know, it's a cycle,
Okay.
right? Like if someone is reading our news, it means that person is either a company owner or like working in some company. So why not
Yeah,
offer the value in different ways? Like, okay, you can open your company account, like your job ad, or if you want to change your job, you can still follow us and then find different companies. So we try to help on that scale as well, but it's just the timing is not the best. Not many people are hiring. Yeah.
yeah, nice. By the way, it's Founder's Kahani. So we are talking about your Kahani. Can you share some good experiences or some life-changing experiences from of your Kahani of establishing Moby Victim?
Okay. I mean, like it was like a hobby for me, and then I don't even know like why I kept it for so long. I don't know. Maybe there was a reason because I had some different things. I was working in one company. I'm an advisor of one PC game company, and like just a lot of different things. But one day I realized I actually have a quite like I established a quite good network over the years just by covering people's news. Okay, you have a game, like
Yeah,
send it over, we'll cover. I didn't ask money. Uh, Sometimes if people could pay, they paid. We tried different ways of like making money after some point, like some agency services. I think I tried a lot to, like make something out of it. But I believe you like focus on something and then, keep trying ways, pivot, and so on. You will come to uncertain point. Because when I look at
yeah,
Mobidictum 3 years before and what we do right now is completely different. We have the website, fine, we cover the news, but we were organizing esport tournaments, doing influencer marketing, I don't know, doing reviews. Now we do organize events. We have a job platform. we have a membership program. Like it's like completely different. Why under same brand, one vision, try to pivot things and so on. So yeah, that will be one line of my story.
Actually, we don't use the word of story here. We use the word of kahani in
Kahani,
this
yes, yes.
podcast. Yeah, so you have
That's my
amazing
kahani.
kahani actually. Yeah,
That's my
that's your
kahani.
kahani.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, we